folks, once again. Hope you're doing fine. So it's Wednesday, 22nd of July. So we're looking at pre-London. We've just opened up on midnight New York opening price. So this is this price right here, and that is 29,034.09. So I'm gonna highlight that. So first of all, I want to start by calling out our buyers. So you can see we've been making lower highs, not higher, but lower highs and lower lows. So my bias is bearish. So that's the opening price. I'm looking at if we can run below this low. That is the low here is this is the low here is 29,022.96 to 29,022. If we can get a sell around that 50 area, and then we can run into 30s, that will be nice. So this is white. So relative equal highs, relative equal lows, or a single high and a single low, those are all pools of liquidity. So if it's a low, it's a self-side liquidity pool. I mean, that's simple, right? That is sell-side right there. So we've been trading low. Sorry for that. We've been trading lower from 0 GMT, trading into Asia. I have this daily inefficiency highlighted. So if you look at the daily chart here, we have this inefficiency. Yesterday we talked about this week here and how we were running higher into that week, and also made reference into this week. So we ran higher. Going into the New York session, we made even a higher run. You can see here on the 1 hour, we made even a higher run. So we made our way into this CB, a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So we went to the top, almost the top. You can see here yesterday's price action, almost the top. Look at that. And then we started trading lower from yesterday's New York afternoon session and going into today Asian session, and now we are in London today. So I'm going to be careful in this type of price action because there are a lot of wicks. I'm just trying to look for where price can start trading steadily. We've been going lower. You can see we've had this run higher and then we're going lower. So my eye goes into this inefficiency right here. So we've gone through it and now we are on it. So I want to see how price will behave with that CB. So I've talked about how I want to see lower prices, and you can see the reference to this daily inefficiency and the lower quadrant. So you can see we've gone there and then now we're trading around here. So I want to highlight that, and you can see how price is weak. I really want to go short on that 50 level, and maybe we can get 30s. So I want to extend this out to 8 right there, and then also make a reference to that mid cap. So you can see it's kind of like finding difficulty in trying to go lower. So we have a swing high here. I'm expecting lower prices. So this is not really silver, but right there. So you can see it right there. So extend this gap around there. So that's all. So we've gone through this inefficiency, something that really gives me the jips, really makes me doubt whether we are gonna be trading lower. But due to this here, we might trade from 50s and go into 30s. So I think I wanna let's take in a stab on that short at 50 because it has shown that it wants to trade lower. So honestly, I want to see it go below this inefficiency and then go back into that 50 area and then maybe start trade lower. So that's the new candlestick. So honestly, I want to see it stick below the lower portion of this gap. And it's really finding difficulty. So what if it start to trade higher and go above this swing high here, when which I'm really doubting it is not gonna do because of look at how the bodies stop here. Did not even go to the this upper portion of this inefficiency. So I'm really thinking that if it has done this here, then we're gonna be trading lower. But if it wants to trade higher, then I'm gonna also be looking at this inefficiency. So you see, we've gone lower. Kind of like wants to do it, want to make its way higher, which I'll not really like. So we barely touched that 50 level again. There we go. You see it making its way into 54. I did not really like it the way it went above this inefficiency here. Even though we have this here, but it might maybe trade into, can it make it way into 80s? I'm not sure. So we're gonna be just looking at how it wants to perform. Look at that rejection. That's nice. Let's look at a 1 minute chart here. You can see we've gone higher. Very nice rejection. So I think we might stop that short at 50. So I've sold 49. That's around that 50 level. So I'm expecting for it to start rolling lower because of that rejection from that point. So I want to see it go and remain below the half level of this inefficiency. That will be very good. It will also become problematic if we start to trade on the upper portion of that inefficiency and then start to go higher. That would be problematic for me. And yesterday I talked about how I don't really like to see candles staying inside inefficiencies that I'm looking at. So that's another thing. And you can see we've spent quite some time inside this inefficiency, but I want to see it go lower. So let's talk a little bit about this daily chart. So on the weekly chart, we are weak. We've been weak for several weeks. We've been inside this consolidation here. So last week we had a very bearish week, and we're kind of like, this week we've opened up and then we started trading higher. So we've not really reached to the even the halfway level of this week here. And if I'm expecting weaker prices in a weekly chart, I'm expecting Monday, Tuesday to have that Judah swing, and then maybe we'll trade lower. So Monday, Tuesday, a Judah swing, and then we have lower prices going into Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So that was a very nice run higher here yesterday. So I'm expecting lower prices, and you can see we've been really been struggling to go lower, and that's why it is really muddy here, but I'm expecting lower prices still. So you can see where this candlestick has closed. We're trading around that mid gap, and still I want to see it kind of like get its motion and start to trade lower. Look at this 1 minute. So I talked about macros also yesterday. We are remaining 4 minutes to get into that 750 to 810 macro. So I'm also expecting that. So from where I've sold it, 20 points out of that will be around 49, 39, 49, 39, and then 29. That's around the 30 level. So 29 level is around, we'll mark out that 29 level is around here, 30 level. So I want to see it go below this daily inefficiency. That would be very nice. So, and also go below the sell side. So we've gone with, we're trading on the lower portion of this CB here. I want to see it break out of that CB. So on the 1 minute, that sell side, we have a mini sell side here. So I want to see it still keep pressure on those lower prices. So that 30 level is here. The low here is, this low here is, let's just look at this, 29,022.96. 29,022.96. So 9,022, it's right here. So we've gone below that. There's a very little low here on the 1 minute right here, and I still want to see it keep on pressing lower. We've got kind of like a rejection from these lows higher. Honestly, I don't really like that kind of rejection. It's kind of like the same thing that has happened here, but let's just wait it out and see what we can do. And it's really going higher, so I don't really like it. I've barely gotten out of trades that I don't really like in this session, and maybe this one can be the one, because if we start having momentum higher, then I'm definitely going to be wrong. But the momentum here is weak. Even if we finish this candlestick here on that middle point, and if it wants to go lower, then we'll overrun that wick and even go lower. And because price is really like it's trading inside this kind of like whiplash, we're having so many wicks. So it's just having a patience for this trade to kind of like pan out. So far, it's good. We're remaining that 1 minute, and then we're gonna get into that macro that I talk about, and that's a nice rejection lower. So if we have this 1 minute as a swing high here, that will be even more interesting. So honestly, momentum is one thing for me. So we finished that candlestick right there. Very interesting. So this 5 minute, I want to see it navigate into that opening price, and then maybe we'll trade into these lows. So honestly, I want to see a rejection from the low of that inefficiency, then run lower. So far, its trading is reacting nicely. So my focus is on the 5 minute chart. It's never on this 1 minute chart. I just like to see the 1 minute chart how it's is behaving, but my fully focus is right here. So let's look at a 15-minute chart here. So if you look at the 15-minute chart, very weak, very bearish. We've had a swing high. Everything is just weak. So it's just a matter of patience and a matter of just encouraging yourself throughout these trades. So I was talking about the weekly chart. Let me talk about it. I've talked about how I expect Monday, Tuesday to make that Judah swing, and then going into Wednesday, I expect lower prices. Daily chart, you can see that's what kind of like not kind of like, but that's what happened. So Monday we have one higher, the decline. Tuesday we ran higher. I think this is the high of the week, and then we're gonna be running lower for the most part of this week. So this 15-minute chart has just opened up and expect lower prices. So let's go back to that. No, let's just look at it here. So it's keeping lower prices still. And that's very nice. See that? So those are 10 points so far. So I'm feeling like, can I just take this 10 points and then look for another trade? I mean, I can, yes, but we are really weak. And I can just get out of that trade with 10 points and then start looking for weaker prices still. So I'm just gonna hold it, because one thing we have, consistent price moves in this kind of like session. So just waiting for it to deliver. You see that the new 5-minute candlestick have opened up and it's going lower. So we're getting so close. I want to see it go flash that open and go lower. So this is weakness right here. So trading at 38. So let's just put on a take profit for today. So we're almost there. It's almost there. I like to see that 1 minute have something like that volume imbalance. That's very nice. So that's weakness. That's some nice weaker prices. So we've touched that. This low is 30.19. We have a 2 pip spread. I want to see it go to 28 and then it's gonna fill me out. So close. So I think we might just get it out manually. Nice. See that 1 minute we ran high and then we got that rejection. That's very nice. Gotten so close and now it's back up. Wow, just wow. Just wow, right? Just something else, right? So I think that's it. I'll look for another entry. That trader just gotten so close to my take profit and then it's right back up. I don't really like this kind of behaviors when price does that, but we're still weak. So I'm gonna wait for another price swing so that we can see what price has to offer again. So if I could have had an entry on that exact 50 level, then I could have been filled. See the low that is 28, then I could have been filled. It's very wild when it behaves this. So you can see how we've gone higher. This is something that I did not want to see. I did not want to see that. So back up at again 50. So my mind is like, this is a very huge rejection from that law there, because I think it's because we've touched the law of this daily CB right there. Got the 15-minute chart, you can see the rejection right there. So we've touched the law of this CB, and we've got a very crazy rejection from that law. So that can be something that may take us up into these highs here. So that's something that I do not want to be a part of. That's why I exited that trade. So we're going to be just looking for another entry going into this new hour after we've seen that even if it wants to kind of like do this kind of thing and have lower prices, then that will be what we will be trading. But that's been a very nice um, spot right there. I wanted to exit once it started trading higher like this, right here. Once it traded into this inefficiency, I want to exit there, but I kind of like felt that it would go low and start to go below this here, but it did not. So 1 hour, a new 1 hour has opened up. 15 minute, look at this 15 minute here. We've opened up a new 15 minutes. So I want to take again a stop on that short because we are weak. So look at the bodies here, still inside this inefficiency, and want to trade lower. So this 15 minutes is still weak. We've had a very crazy rejection up higher, and I want to see it go through that week and go lower. So if I was to if I want to sell this, what sold this here, you can see it, how it's behaving here. It's still kind of like keeping on with weaker prices. So we're still spending a lot of time inside this inefficiency, something that I don't like. You know, look at that rejection lower. So honestly speaking, these are a high resistance liquidity run. High resistance liquidity run is kind of a price action that we normally have that goes up and down, up and down. It's not really a full through one way. It's just up and down. I really like where we've stopped right there, and then this next 5 minutes is way down, running lower. Look at that. Beautiful, right? Back down again. So we'll make our way into this low here. Now we have relatively good lows here. He's gonna go for those lows now. Look at that. Sitting at 29,038 now. This is why I like London. Very consistent price moves. Even if it's gonna go against the price move, it's gonna recover that price move and it's gonna go with the momentum. So what's the momentum? We've been going lower. We had this not rejection really, but retracement, and then you see we'll go lower and take out that low. Retracement, and then we go lower, take out that low. Retracement, I want to see it go lower and take out that low. We've opened up a new candlestick. Now you'll see this candlestick will run lower and run into this low here and these lows. So if I were on still on this trade that I sold here around 450s, and I've gotten out at I think very close to break even. You see now it could have been a very nice run into that low, and now I could have been getting filled. See, look at the 1 minute here. You see, crazy rejection, and it has delivered that whole move. So my order was just right here, close to break even. Well, I could have just waited and then had this drawdown, and then now waited for this delivery right there. So that's it. I'll just get another entry, and we'll make the 20 points. So we've gone outside that inefficiency, this weaker prices, that weakness, so it has been established. Now I want to see it run into this low here and this sell side. If we don't, of course, we might have a very bigger retracement other than this one here, and then maybe later on start to go lower. But this here, with this rejection here, we're going lower. That could have been my fill right there. So I've gone below that low. I want to see it run into this low. So apart from my trading today, at least I've shown the skill, and I appreciate that to myself. I've shown that this still works. I need to build more confidence on this. Yeah, more confidence on my entries, and it will work. It will eventually work. So look at that. We've seen that rejection higher with this here. We've tried on the upper portion of that, and now we are right back down. And I want to see that sell side be taken out. So I've done everything like I normally do. I've violated where price is going to. I've violated the liquidity pool that price is gonna take. I've highlighted everything. So although my trading has not been with this kind of like results, but still you can see it still works. So I need to build again. I said I need to build a lot more confidence with this trading. So that's what I need to work on. So look at how it would run that loss out. We've touched it. So it's still keeping on with the quick prices. Now we've gone that low. That's interesting, right? Oh, that's not supposed to be that. Boom, we hit that sell side. Beautiful, right? Beautiful, just beautiful. So that's has been a very nice run lower. And if you stick to these things here, I've seen it work. It has gotten me out of drawdown. Now I'm so close to break even on these accountants that making my way towards 80% on the account. And this is very nice. So I'm gonna stick around and look for another trade. So if you see here, we're trading right now at 29,020. We can even go as low as 29,000 even. But now it's gonna be kind of like difficult for me to be trusting a move below this low here, because we can always reject those lows here and come back into the range. So that's been a very has been a very nice delivery. So I'm going to take this screenshot, and then if I were to be uh, profitable for the day, that could have been it for me. So after that, you see they run back into the range. So we've run back to 23. So I'm not really gonna trade that breakout. I don't really feel confident about it. So we're gonna wait for London Open, and then we're gonna see if we'll have much more run lower on this 1 hour chart. So you can still keeping up with lower prices. Now I'm wishing I could have held that short. Really wishing I could have held that short. Right. So you can see the trade here. That sell at to 9,049, and then got out at, then stopped out manually. I stopped myself out at 29,048 when it was trading high like this. I did not really trust it completely. Not to know that it's gonna run higher. So it could have been this candlestick high, that is 29,059. That could have been a 10 points drawdown, and then the very nice delivery there. It's beautiful, right? So I think I'm gonna end this here. Been here for 39 minutes. Um, for this recording here, I think I'm gonna end it here, and then we're gonna see whether we'll look for another price move in this London session. So until next time, adios.